Into the high noon report for Monday afternoon. I'm Pugs Moran. We do this every Monday through Friday, noon to whenever. Headlines, current events, hot topics, whatever people are screaming about, buzzing about. If it's something people are interested in, I'm going to give it to you here every day starting at noon. Doesn't have to be, just one thing. We cover everything. Stupid, funny, weird, real, sad, whatever it is, we try to give it to you. It's a full cheat sheet for all the things that people are going to be buzzing. I don't want you, I always say this, and if you're new, and you're probably not new because we seem to have the same group of people every day, but that's fine because I love you people. You people are fun. Come on, get in the chat room. Here we go. Let's get the chat room going. We got Whitney, we got Byron, we got Cam, we got Ty. Ooh, everybody's in the chat. Jeff is here. All right, very good. I say this, here's the purpose of the show. I don't want somebody coming up to you and going, hey, did you hear about it? And then you got to go, no, I didn't hear about it. And you're trying to think. And then before you know it, they're telling you about something and they're idiots and you don't want to hear it from them. So I try to look, let me be your designated idiot. Let me be the idiot who gives you just like a really Cliff Notesy version of all the things people are talking about. We don't spend too much time on any one issue. We just knock them down and move on to the next one. We also don't get involved in politics. We don't like to go blue versus red. We don't do any of that nonsense either. Look, we all hate each other. That's clear. But there are plenty of things for us to be at each other's throats about that don't have anything to do with how we voted. So that's sort of the conceit of this show. What is the dog doing? The dog is walking around under it. You need to go lay down, young lady. Miss. Hey, get out of the garbage, miss. Okay, you need to lay down. You need to go lay down. She got a squirrel yesterday. So she's feeling herself. Of course, I'm talking about CeeLo. CeeLo the dog. All right. I can show you. All right. We can show you CeeLo. She's looking at me like, oh, here we go. What are you doing, slow? There she goes. Go into your corner, CeeLo. There she goes. She's just going to lay in the corner. That's her bed right there. That black thing, that's her bed typically. That's where she'll sleep. But yeah, go ahead. You lay in the corner right there. Know where the air conditioning is coming out of the next room. Very good. All right, let's see though. She's the dog. Big eventful weekend for us around here, especially where CeeLo is concerned. Those of you who hold on, now I gotta. What is this too close? Yeah, that's too close. I like to show the dog because she's a lovely animal, but now it seems like too high. I don't know. You know what? We're going with it like this. Those of you who know the story of CeeLo, you know that she patrols her yard with a ferocity that, quite frankly, I've never seen. She is an incredibly good watchdog. She is 70 pounds of solid beef. She's like, those things that Rocky used to hit. Remember in Rocky, he'd go into the meat coolers and he'd pound the sides of beef. That's what she is. She is 70 pounds of absolute beef, claws, and teeth. And she's also not friendly, which is going to be a real problem moving forward in her life because I don't know how much longer this situation is going to be available to you, where she just has the run of this property and she can do whatever she wants. One of her main, it's her primary obsession. Well, okay, so the mailman, she doesn't like the mailman. She doesn't like people walking in front of the house. If you're walking in front of the house with a dog, oh God, she is going to go nuts. She does not want to see that. But squirrels are a big deal to her. The yard is filled with squirrels and they taunt her. They sit up on branches and it's not good. And they drive her nuts. And every single day, man, she just packs her little work. Like how we used to see the images of old blue collar guys in the 1950s going to work at the steel mill. That's her every day. Every morning I open up that back door. She's sitting there waiting to go out. She gets to her first spot. She surveys the backyard for any squirrels. She identifies the squirrels. Then she goes into her crouch. And then the very first thing she does every morning is slowly crouching down the steps. And then boom, like a bolt of lightning, she chases them and they get away. They get away 99.9% of the time. And she is left with squirrels in the tree laughing at her. And she's just like, I'll get you one day. Yesterday was that day. She got a squirrel. Oh my God. And by the way, first of all, if you think that this is all bad, poor squirrel. No, squirrels suck. You know that I hate squirrels. Squirrels are fancy rats. Squirrels are mean. Squirrels They're pretty. Yeah, it's just because of their coats. That's it. They're rats in fancy coats. They're like rats if they won the lotto. That's all. They're just pretentious rodents. That's what squirrels are. So I don't have any. I root for the dog to get the squirrels, and she never does. So yesterday we're going down. It's probably about 4:00 in the afternoon or something, and I'm just not even thinking. I'm going over to the garage. I got to get something out of my car, so I go out my back door, and I don't even notice, but she like slithers right past me, like something's going on. Like there's something. I'm not paying attention, but the dog is. So I open up the back door. I start heading out to the garage, and the dog, boom, like a lightning bolt down the steps. And then I get over to the balcony and I look and I see this squirrel running for its life for the tree. We've got this big giant tree. It's probably about 150 years old. I'm not kidding. It's a gigantic tree. And she is running for this tree. And I'm like, Dad, there's no way the dog is going to catch this squirrel. Squirrel's already at the tree. Squirrel hits the tree. Squirrel starts scampering up the tree. And at this point, I'm like, no way. That dog is going like 30 miles an hour. The dog is running as fast as I've ever seen her run before. And she ain't going to stop in time. She's going to run head first into that tree. I'm like, geez, do I got to go to the vet tonight? Is this dumbass dog going to knock herself unconscious, running full speed into a tree, trying to catch a squirrel? No, that's not what she did. Instead of trying to brake and smashing into the tree, she leapt. She leapt in a display of athleticism that I have not seen since Bo Jackson ran up the outfield wall. It was incredible. She leaps through the air and hits the tree broadside, like basically, like, in a cartoon, or like if a cartoon was to like into a tree like that with their arms spread out and their legs spread out. She probably got about 5-6 feet up the tree in her jump, in her leap, and she smashed up against the tree. Now, in the process, she smashed the squirrel. The squirrel falls unconscious to the ground, where the dog stands over very proudly. So yesterday was a good day. Oh, it didn't happen if you don't have pictures. You better believe I got pictures. You better believe I got pictures of that. You kidding me? You think that she tries every day to get a squirrel. You think? Here, let me show you this one. This is a good one. All right, here. I'm going to hold this one up. You're going to see this. This is her licking her lips. She is standing over the squirrel. There you go. You see her? And then the squirrel's right. Oh, the squirrel's right there. Squirrel's right there. Look at her. That is a proud dog right there. She got her squirrel. And then here, I'll show you how close the tree was. There it is. So there you see the full shot. There's the tree. She broadsided that tree, right like where you see, right like where it's white. Oh, it was a good day. It was a good day. So so that's the dog update. I got nothing else other than and then she didn't do anything with it. I had to throw it out. It's like she didn't eat it. She didn't want to eat it. She's not an Indian. She's not gonna like make toothpicks out of like the little squirrel bone. She's not gonna repurpose everything. No, she just killed for the sake of killing. You're a murderer. There you go. That's all we're gonna do. All right. Let's get into the show because we do have other big news. The big news isn't just that my dog caught a squirrel yesterday, or our dog. The property's dog. I refuse to call her my dog. I'm not going to get that attached to you. Although you can see I already have. All right, let's get started. It is the High Noon Report. I am Pugs Moran. It is the 7th day of the beautiful month of August, year of our Lord 2023, August the 7th today. Did you know it's the 219th day of the year? There's 146 more of these until the end of the year. 146 more. Get those New Year's Eve plans started, as we like to say around these parts. What else do I got to mention? Tip totals. We don't have the tip totals. We made it. Oh my God, you guys. Oh, but I don't know where we stand. I don't know where we stand. I know that we made it, so we got the month of August taken care of. You people are the best. I want to thank. I got to do the new tip totals and the new names and the new thank yous and all that stuff. But certainly, man, thank you to Tracy. Okay, I'm just going to throw that out there right now. And if you want to help out the show, you can continue to tip the show too. Venmo's, Cash App. What's going on? I just got a report. Is there something with the chat? The chat is activated. The chat is supposed to be doubled up. Now, there we go. We'll try it again. Let me reboot. Byron lets me know that there seems to be an issue with the chat. And now I'm seeing everybody in the chat room is saying that as well. All right, let's test. Test. There we go. Is that working now? All right, let me see you fill in. All right, thank you, Byron. I'm sorry. Yeah, sometimes Restream, you got to like refresh it. You got to, doesn't always kick in. It'll tell you it's doing something, but it's not. All right, let's get into what today is. The very first thing that we like to do on this here show is, we give you all the day's details. We tell you all the headlines and hot topics and whatnot. But before we get into that, we like to go back in time. We climb into a time machine. We do a little segment here we call Erstwhile on This Day. Erstwhile on This Day is basically just previously on. Previously on previous episodes of August the 7th. Well, what big events occurred? Are there rhythms? Are there patterns? Are there things that seem to happen on this day every year? I'll tell you this much. As I'm starting to lose my voice. Why? Because air conditioning throat. I've got air conditioning throat. All right, this is a good sign. At 12:16 p.m. here in beautiful North Texas, Highland Park, Texas, it is 96 degrees. It is 96 degrees. We may as well be in the North Woods of Montana. 96 degrees. It has been, this month. Not last month, this month. Here, I am looking at, so the weather, right? We don't do weather except when it's like absolute garbage like this. All right, what's today's high believed to be? Today's high is going to be up to 102. Okay, that's it. We can handle that. It was 104 yesterday. We can handle 102 today. But here's what I don't like. Tuesday's going to be 103. Wednesday's going to be 105. Thursday's going to be 106. Friday's going to be 107. Woo! Heading into the weekend. Saturday's going to be 105. Sunday's going to be 104. And they don't give me any more days. I am done. You guys, I am done with this. You know what we ought to do? We ought to pull up shows from like 5 weeks ago where I'm like, really? This is summer? Come on, bring it. We're Texans. Okay, that's not me anymore. Me now is I am done. I am done with it being 105 degrees every single moment. It just sucks. I am done. All right. We like to get into the history of today. So let's figure out some things that went on this day on previous editions of August the 7th or erstwhile on this day. In 1782, George Washington orders the creation of the Badge of Military Merit. Badge of Military Merit doesn't have the poetic ring that Purple Heart does. It's the Purple Heart. The Purple Heart on this day. On this day in 1909, Alice Hoyler Ramsey and three friends, three gal pals, they became the first women to complete a transcontinental auto trip. They went from New York to San Francisco. Just three gals, just a gals weekend back in 1909. Alice was the one driving. Alice, well, did they share the driving? At some point, right? At some point they shared the driving because it's 1909. Hardly anyone drives, let alone women. So you got Alice, she's driving. She gets credit for it. But she's taken three of her friends. So, at some point on open road, she was like, it's just steering. You just, they learned how to drive. I don't know. That's pretty crazy. So they drove, and here's why it's crazy. They drove from New York City, three chicks, New York City, 1909, New York City, no gas stations. Like, what do you do? How did you, I guess you had to plan. I guess you had to make a plan. How long do you think it took them to get from New York City to San Francisco in 1909? Three chicks in a car. 59 days, 2 months. It took 2 months to drive. Oh my God. And did it break down? Like, is one of the girls a mechanic? I don't know. There had to have been more planning than was conveyed in this little blurb about on this day in history. On this day in 1942, erstwhile on this day, World War II, the Battle of Guadalcanal begins as the United States Marines initiate the first American offensive of the war with landings at Guadalcanal and Tulagi. I guess that's how you pronounce it. I don't know. Guadalcanal is the one we always hear. I know how to pronounce that. Tulagi, I don't know what that is. That's the Solomon Islands. I know that. They're in the Solomon Islands. On this day in 1947, Thor Heyerdahl's balsa wood raft, the Kentucky, smashes into a reef in the Tuamotu Islands. Okay, so here's basically what this guy did. Thor Heyerdahl. You remember? You know this guy? He died. I don't know. He's dead. Been dead a bunch of years. He's an old timer guy. He died in my lifetime, though, because I remember when he died, because I remember that's when I went, that's a cool name. I should learn what that guy did. And what he was an adventurer. He was a biologist. He was a scientist. But he was famous for something that he did when he was in his mid-30s. And that was on this day in 1947. He took a raft. He made a balsa wood raft that he named the Kon-Tiki. And he crossed the Pacific Ocean with it. Now, he wasn't just like, some surf bum guy. No, he was trying to prove a theory that he'd had about human cultural development and how before he did this, before he took a raft across the Pacific Ocean, 5,000 miles, before he took a raft 5,000 miles, people thought that there was no way that like the Asians could have come to the West, or that, the islanders were visiting continental Europe and all this kind of stuff. And he kind of proved that no, you could cross the Pacific on a raft, because I did it. And I bet, over the past 10,000 years, somebody else probably tried it. That was on this day in 1947. He did it. On this day in 1978, U.S. President Jimmy Carter, what did he do? What did Jimmy Carter do? My page just completely jumped off of him. I don't care about Jimmy Carter. Nobody does. I do. Remember Indian hospice? Man, he can be okay. Jimmy Carter going to be okay. On this day, well, probably not, because he's 100, but you know what I mean? Like, keep a good thought. Seems like a good man. U.S. President Jimmy Carter declares a federal emergency at Love Canal due to toxic waste. Okay, so do you remember this story? This was 1978. Love Canal was a town in New York City. I want to say somewhere outside Niagara Falls. So, like, what is that, like? Buffalo, Rochester? I don't know what area that is, but it's that relative area. Love Canal was a town that was built on top of like a chemical waste dump, and everybody got leukemia. And then the government had to come in and go, hey, you can't build towns on toxic waste dumps. And now we know not to build towns on toxic waste dumps. That was on this day in 1978. On this day in 1998, bombings at the United States embassies in Dar es Salaam, Tanzania, and Nairobi, Kenya, kill approximately 212 people. This was huge. Do you remember this in 1998, the embassy bombings? This was huge because this was pre 9/11. 9/11 changed the game. 9/11 opened our eyes to a whole bunch of possibilities that we didn't think we were vulnerable to. 9/11 did that. But before 9/11, there was this. There was like a ham-fisted attempt at the World Trade Center in 1992. Remember, they brought like a U-Haul truck and parked it and blew up the parking garage, but nothing else happened. So that was like, oh yeah, good try. We are impenetrable. You can't hurt America. And so the idea was that we were safe in America. And that was sort of driven home by what seemed to be the way terrorists were going to attack us, which was going to be our embassies overseas. So when our African embassies were bombed on this day back in 1998, it was a big deal because it was like, oh, okay, well, at least we're safe here at home. Then the coal happened in 2000. It was the embassy bombings, the coal, and then 9/11. And then 9/11 was like, okay, all right, now they're here. They're hitting our embassies. Then now they're hitting our ships and ports. And now they're actually hitting us here. Big deal. 1998, the bombings of 2 United States embassies in Africa. Death toll over 212 people. On this day in 2007 at AT&T Park, Barry Bonds hits his 756th career home run to surpass Hank Aaron's 33-year-old record. Did he really, though? No, he really did. He really did. I mean, he did it. I'm an old school baseball guy, but I grew up in the steroid era. And to see all of the people that I grew up with be demonized, there's cases to be made for, substances helping people in Major League Baseball. I mean, throughout time, I mean, guys were taking speed, guys were doing uppers. I don't know. Anyway, on this day, Barry Bonds, big day. I remember it, 2007. Yay. And now we can't even say Barry Bonds' name. That's going to do it for Erstwhile on this day. That was so not exactly a huge day for things happening. Yeah. All right, now it's time for Buana. These are the birthdays, people being born on this day. Let's talk about it. Garrison Keillor, American humorist, novelist, short story writer, radio host, Prairie Home companion, if you will. Garrison Keillor, born on this day in 1942. Garrison Keillor. What a world. What a world we live in. A lot of people talk about the falls from graces. A lot of people talk about O.J. Simpson. Oh, O.J. Simpson was in America's living rooms. Everybody loved O.J. Simpson. Turns out he's a double murderer. Everybody talks about Bill Cosby. Oh, he was America's dad. Oh, he was American. Well, Garrison Keillor, to a lesser extent, also had one of these faults. Garrison Keillor hosted the NPR show Prairie Home Companion. Very popular. Their biggest show. One of their biggest shows with donators, people who donated. It was folksy Americana, right? Never really appealed to me. Garrison Keillor is a master narrator, a master storyteller. The other day we were talking about my guy, Gene Shepard, who I love Gene Shepard for his ability to storytell and his ability to narrate. Gene Shepard famously, Ralphie, the narration of Ralphie in A Christmas Story. That red rocket daisy, that was Gene Shepard. Gene Shepard's the greatest. Garrison Keillor's great too. Garrison, got to give him credit. Didn't like Prairie Home. Garrison Keillor was America's favorite homespun front porch. Welcome, come on in. Can I get you some lemonade? He was that to America. He was perfect. And then turns out he liked to play a little grab ass for about 20 years of his career. And all the interns during Me Too came out. And Garrison Keillor, he hasn't been heard from since. Born on this day in 1942. Born on this day also in 1942, B.J. Thomas, American singer, American songwriter. B.J. Thomas, famous for Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. Raindrops keep falling on my head. Fun fact about B.J. Thomas, I dated his stepdaughter. Yeah, I did briefly. We didn't go out much. But yeah, went on a couple dates with her. She was her stepdad was B.J. Thomas. I thought that was kind of fun. All right, B.J. Thomas, happy birthday to you. Born on this day in 1942, dead in 1921. So guess you didn't hear me when I said happy birthday. Born on this day in 1945, Alan Page. Here's a dude. I like to sometimes stop and talk about dudes. Alan Page is a dude. Alan Page. Arguably any list in NFL history of the great defensive ends, the transformative defensive linemen in NFL history. Alan Page is there. Alan Page, College Football Hall of Fame. Alan Page, no doubter, NFL Hall of Famer, probably since like 1990 or something. Alan Page's play as part of the Purple People Eaters of the Minnesota Vikings of the mid-'70s, and then later a long career with the Chicago Bears. Alan Page is one of the great defensive players in the history of NFL football. That's why he's in the Hall of Fame. Football stuff isn't the first paragraph in Alan Page's biography. This is what's so amazing. Alan Page went on to be a Supreme Court justice in the state of Minnesota, and not just like, Minnesota, we don't really trust Minnesota because they made Jesse Ventura. They made a wrestler governor. They made Al Franken a senator. Right. But no, Alan Page was made. He had a very distinguished post-football career as a lawyer. And then he became a very well-respected Supreme Court justice in the state of Minnesota. That is a dude. That is a bad man with an even badder brain. Alan Page, born on this day in 1945. Still alive. Still crushing it. Born on this day in 1955. How about Wayne Knight? Newman. That's right. Newman from Seinfeld. Born on this day. Born on this day in 1958. Bruce Dickinson. English singer, songwriter, and guitarist. Now, I know Bruce is from Iron Maiden. And I know I saw a documentary a couple of years ago about Iron Maiden. And I think I liked it a lot. I think when I think of Bruce Dickinson now, I smile. And I think it's because he's so freaking cool. I think he might be just a really cool guy. I don't know. I haven't seen it in a couple of years. And as I get older, I forget stuff. Stuff I learned at 15 has way greater staying power in my brain than stuff I learned at 50. I'm starting to learn. Happy birthday, Bruce Dickinson. Born on this day in 1958. Born on this day in 1974. One of the real dudes of modern acting, Michael Shannon. Michael Shannon is so awesome. Happy birthday to him. Born on this day in 1974. Charlize Theron. Charlize. I like Charlize Theron because she likes to playfully refer to herself as an African American. Okay, which she is, because she's a native South African. She's from Africa. She is an African American. I like that. Sidney Crosby was born on this day in 1987. Sid the Kid, hockey great. Born on this day in 1991, Mike Trout. Best player in baseball. Well, you can't say that anymore, right? That's programming. Mike Trout, best player in baseball. Mike Trout is probably the second best player in baseball. Well, I mean, you got to take it as a whole, but over the course of a career, Mike Trout has been the second best player in baseball. He's not even the best player on his team. That's because for some reason the California Angels have like Shohei Ohtani and Mike Trout, and that is just a ridiculous amount of riches. And you'd think they'd have been better, but they're not. Happy birthday to you, Mike Trout, born on this day in 1991. Born on this day in 1997, somewhere just a few miles away, Kyler Murray came into this world. Kyler Murray, 26 years old today. Also born on this day. Look at it, not on this day in 1998. 1 year after Kyler Murray, Jalen Hurts, American football player, quarterback for your Philadelphia Eagles. All right, that's going to do it. Those are all the birthdays we care to mention. Those are the people celebrating birthdays today. Now is the point in the show where we go through a list of people who died. We call it, these are the people who died. These are the people who've died. Do we care? Okay. Do we care? That is the question, because the world is filled with a-holes and everybody dies. So a-holes die all the time. And this is a little segment where we look through the course of history and we try and figure out, well, these people deserve our attention. So here we go. Let's start. Dead on this day in 1957, I'm preemptively. Yeah, we care. We care about Oliver Hardy. Remember Laurel and Hardy? Remember them? Maybe you don't. I don't know. My kid probably doesn't know who Laurel and Hardy is. So I liked Laurel and Hardy more than I liked Abbott and Costello. And here's why. There was a sadness to Laurel and Hardy that I really was sort of attracted to. Like Abbott and Costello just seemed like a couple of stupid guys, right? They just God, these guys are just stupid. Laurel and Hardy were doing something else. Laurel and Hardy because they came out of silent films and they had to do more acting with their bodies and their facial expressions. There was a sadness there. They were funny. I mean, don't get me wrong, but there was absolutely a slight sadness there. Dead on this day in 1957, Oliver Hardy. He was the fat one. Yeah, we care. Dead on this day in 2005, another preemptive, Peter Jennings. Peter Jennings died on this day. Canadian journalist and author. He was Peter Jennings, ABC News. He was straight-laced. He seemed legit. I liked Peter Jennings. Peter Jennings, fun fact, the guy that we Americans turned into the new Cronkite for a period of time. And we did. Jennings was number one. Peter Jennings' World News Tonight was the big one for a good stretch of time. And then he died. But Peter Jennings never graduated high school. Peter Jennings was a rock DJ in Canada who just, career-wise, that's why careers are so funny. He just ended up looking good on TV in some small market job that he ended up taking to make ends meet. And he turns in 20 years later to Peter Jennings, anchor of ABC News. So yeah, Peter Jennings, cool guy. Dead on this day in 2008, another preemptive. We are going to preemptively say we care. Bernie Brillstein died on this day in 2008. Now, do you know who Bernie Brillstein is? We could do a Bernie Brillstein draft, but I really don't want to. So let's just go through Bernie Brillstein's filmography. Okay, these are the films. Bernie Brillstein and his partner Brad Gray created a company called Brillstein Gray, and they are responsible for almost all the comedy from the 1990s forward. Let's go through Bernie Brillstein's filmography. This as an executive producer, Up the Academy, which I mentioned because it's one of my favorites. It's one of the first, you shouldn't be watching this movies that I saw. Up the Academy was young Robert Downey Jr. My buddy Harry Teinowitz, the guy I worked in radio with in Chicago, he was the star of it. It was about a group of kids who went to a boarding school and just how bad they behaved. Up the Academy, directed by Robert Downey Jr.'s father, Robert Downey Sr. Let's see. He was a Bernie Brillstein. We're going through his works. Up the Academy, The Blues Brothers, Continental Divide, Neighbors, Dr. Detroit, Ghostbusters, Summer Rental, Spies Like Us, Dragnet, Ghostbusters 2, Happy Gilmore, Cable Guy, The Replacement Killers, and then just a bunch of lesser ones. How about TV? How about shows that Bernie Brillstein executive produced on TV? The Muppets, Alf, It's Gary Shandling's show. The Days and Nights of Molly Dodd, the Jeff Foxworthy Show, Mr. Show with Bob and David. That alone, the fact that he discovered Bob Odenkirk and David Cross and created a show for them. Oh, The Naked Truth. How about News Radio? How great was News Radio? Politically Incorrect, The Steve Harvey Show, Primetime Glick, Just Shoot Me, The Wayne Brady Show. I mean, Bernie Brillstein, man. Brillstein Gray Productions. They created just about every comedy in the 1990s that was on TV or movies, as we saw. 80s, they were big in movies. 90s, bigger in TV. So we care that on this day in 2008, Bernie Brillstein died. Brad Gray is dead too. Brad Gray died much earlier than Bernie. Dead on this day in 2017, Don Baylor, American professional baseball player. Big Don Baylor, manager. Do we care? Yeah, we care. We care. Of course we do. And finally, do we care? These other people who died. Stan Mikita. NHL hockey legend. Of course, immortalized in the Wayne's World films. Of course, Wayne and Garth hung out at Stan Mikita's donut shop there in Aurora, Illinois. Doesn't really exist. Stan Mikita never got into the donut game, but Stan Mikita, he was a real one. Dead on this day in 2008. Yes, we care. All right, that's going to do it. So we've gotten through all the events of this day. We have gotten through the birthdays, and now we have done the deaths, people who died. So now we're going to move into all the topics of today. We're going to run through everything that's trending, things people are buzzing about, headlines, all that stuff. We're going to do them pretty quick here. We're not going to spend a whole lot of time on any one subject. Some we'll dig into, some I might get going. But remember, this show is basically just a 2-hour stream of consciousness from me. 2 hours of me, blah, blah, blah. And also, if I'm being fair, there may be a small break here that we're going to have to take coming up because I have to go handle something that is downstairs. But it will be no more than like a 2 or 3 minute break. It'll just be, it is dog related, and it has to do with the outside, and it has to do with a security measure. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say. We are not under any security threat, as the dog sleeping in her chair should, which you can't see. But I do have to handle something before we do that. So give me a couple of. I'm just gonna take a break here in a minute here before we get. Maybe we should do it now. Maybe we should just do a quick break now. Yeah. All right, I'll leave the tip thing up. You guys do that. We'll take a quick break. I'm gonna be right back. Okay. Just give me about 3 minutes. Here's the deal. I'll tell you the deal. I don't think the gate is closed, and the dog's gonna want to go out. So I got to make sure that the gate is closed so I can let her out. You want to go outside? Yeah, okay. She's going to go outside. I forgot she hadn't gone out this morning. I'll be right back. Seriously, it'll just take a minute. I swear to God, just give me a minute here. All right, let's go, girl. Come on. All right. The gate was not bolted, which means she can just jump on it and open it up, and then she'd be running the streets of Highland Park, where she doesn't even want to be out. She doesn't even want to be outside. She wants to be outside right now. Currently, she is outside. She is outside currently, the dog we're talking about. She's outside currently because I wanted her to come inside. So she wants to be outside. Come on, we're coming inside. She just looks at me. She's like, no. But I guarantee you, within the next 30 seconds, I'm going to have to get up again and let her in because she really does want to be here. She just would prefer to be defiant. All right, let's get started. Sorry. Let me get a drink. All right, let's get started with the portion of the show where we run through all of the headlines, hot topics, current events, and all that kind of stuff. As I say, we try not to get political. We don't get into too much detail. We just move quick. I just want you to have enough info on these so you can say, yeah, I heard about that. Here you go. China and Russia. Wait a second. No, this ain't real. This ain't the first. This can't be the first one. What happened to my stories? Hold on. Where's my stories? Why did I put this one first? All right, it's kind of important. It's global news. We like that. A combined Russian and Chinese naval force patrolled near the coast of Alaska last week, and what U.S. experts say appears to be the largest such flotilla in history to ever approach American shores. 11 Russian and Chinese ships steamed close to the Aleutian Islands. This, according to U.S. officials. The ships, which never entered U.S. territorial waters and have since left, were shadowed by 4 U.S. destroyers and P-8 Poseidon aircraft. Okay, so they weren't, like, the story is if they come into our waters, right? But that's the whole point. It's that they're getting close. It's like they're like, look how close we can get. You know, this is stupid. What does it mean? Well, it definitely means that there is some antagonism going on. It's an antagonistic thing. But when hasn't there been antagonism? We shut down China's balloon. Of course, there's antagonism. They were flying shit over our country. What? Why is this even a story? I assume this happens all the time. Let me know when they cross into our territorial waters. It's a historic first, says Brent Sadler. He's a senior researcher at the Heritage Foundation. They love their wars, the Heritage Foundation. A spokesman for the U.S. Northern Command confirmed that Russia and China had carried out a combined naval patrol near Alaska, but didn't specify the number of ships or their precise locations. Developing ... It's okay. Russia needs a friend. Russia needs a friend because Russia ain't doing so great. All right, so here we go. Ready? Let's dip our pool into that nonsense, divisive BS. Protective order. Jack Smith, the guy, the special counsel, is bringing these charges, the federal ones. Mar-a-Lago, the January 6th documents, that stuff. That dude, bearded guy. Looks like Coach Beard from Ted Lasso. He really does. He really does. This Jack Smith guy looks like Coach Beard from Ted Lasso. He has asked for and received a protective order from Donald Trump. Donald Trump went on his Truth Social and he said, hey, Jack Smith, you come for me, I come for you. You can't do that. That's obviously a threat against the government prosecutor. What are we, Nicaragua? So the judge, of course, went, yeah, you got your protective order. And now Trump can't post anything about it. I mean, you know, he will. And then now we're going to be at a point where it's like, well, did he violate the protective order? Does he need to be arrested? Oh, God, can we just move on from this era of moronic politics? Gas prices. Here we go. Gas prices. This is the shit that matters to us. You, me, our neighbors, gas prices. Don't get all excited about job growth. Don't get all excited about the stock market. Those are things that don't affect us in our everyday life. You know what does? Gas prices. You know what does? The price of milk, eggs, butter, that kind of shit. Watch that. That's what you get angry about. If we can no longer afford milk, if we can no longer afford bread, if we can no longer afford the staples, and those prices seem to be coming down, then it's time to get the pitchforks, right? The other one, however, as I say, those seem to be coming down, the foodstuffs, if you will. The other category is gas. I'm going to burn this country down if I don't see. Okay, obviously I'm kidding. That was a joke. That was meant as humor. YouTube, YouTube's now going to ban this channel because no, but what I'm saying is the gas prices are what we need to be upset about, because the gas prices is the backbone of the American economy. It's how we, everybody else, not the privileged few, not the elite, not the 1%er, it's how we, the rest of us, go about our lives. Gasoline prices. And right now, gasoline prices are as high. This is what I love. There is a ginning up message to the story that I've got here. And it's told, look, the gas prices are high. They are high. And but the story itself is trying to be written in a way that suggests this is historically bad and we have never seen it. And oh, them darn pesky facts, they get tripped up in their attempt to gin us all up by pesky facts. For instance, they like, this U.S. gas prices are surging. This is, okay, so this is the headline. U.S. gas prices are surging to the highest level since October of 22. And economists are warning of an inflation smile. All right. So this is not historically bad gas prices, okay? Gas prices are surging to their highest level since 9 months ago. So 9 months ago, October of 2022, gas prices were higher. But now it's time to get everybody upset. Stop it. Stop it. Look, if you're going to say gas prices are at their highest in history or something like that, that's fine. But and by the way, I'm not defending gas prices. I'm the guy that they need to come down. Gas prices are absurd. But this faux ginning up. Gas prices are as high. They haven't been this high in 6 weeks. I mean, it doesn't really resonate the same way, right? So yeah, U.S. gas prices are surging to the highest level since October of 22. Man, they ain't been this high since the last time the Cowboys played. Let's see. U.S. gas prices are on the rise again. Oh, how great. I love paying $3.40 for three. That's like up to $3.49 now, right? U.S. gas prices, at least I'm talking about North Texas, Dallas, relative area. U.S. gas prices are on the rise again, stoking concerns that it could fuel inflation. The average gallon of gas traded at $3.89, its highest level since October of 22. Economist Mohammed El Efrain said this was why people were worried about inflation smiles. Don't make up new terms and act like we all don't know it because you're an expert in some field and it's a way you made up that inflation smile. It's something you're making up. And now it's like, oh, let's learn about an inflation smile, a word this economist just made up. U.S. gas prices are on the rise again, threatening to worsen an inflation problem the Federal Reserve has worked hard to fight over the past year. See, that's the problem. General inflation has been coming down. It's been coming down pretty regularly. Whatever they're doing is working with the price of gas, the price of eggs, price of cheese, et cetera, et cetera. The price of gas has not stabilized. The price of gas seemed to come down about a month ago. Gas prices, if I recall, about a month ago, they were like $3.19, something like that. Now they're up to like $3.49. So what's happening with gas? Well, here's what's happening with gas. We have no control over our foreign dependency on oil. You understand this, right? It's not the president. It wasn't Trump's fault when gas prices went up or down. It wasn't Biden's fault when gas prices go up or down. These are about long-standing deals that American oil companies have made with petroleum producers in the Middle East, okay? This can be fixed. We can fix this. We don't have to be beholden to OPEC and all of these other oil interests. And we don't have to, and please stop acting like they're the evil ones. We don't have to be beholden to the decisions made in boardrooms of American oil companies. That's why we pay what we pay. It has nothing to do with the president. Stop fooling yourself into thinking, I'm voting for this party because they're going to bring gas prices up. No. Gas is not, the price of oil is not dependent on elections in any one country. The price of oil is about money, global money. And these things are decided in boardrooms. It has nothing to do with us. We need now, what can we do? Well, we could take over the entire Middle East with our nuclear arsenal and our huge, we could start a war. We could crush all those people and take all their oil. That's option one. Option two, we can really be like, you know what, maybe we shouldn't be on oil anymore anyway. And really, let's make a dedication here to green energy. And I know what I just said there, green energy. But, Tesla, a lot of you people who are against green energy, you seem to be big Musk guys. So maybe that's a Maybe that's movement in the right direction. I don't have a problem with electric cars. I don't have a problem with electric energy. I don't know enough about it, and neither do you. So stop it, shut up, and if it's a real option, maybe we ought to start looking into it. Option 3 for gas prices. Got our own oil. We can drill our own, drill, baby, drill. I know that's, oh my God, the liberals, they freak out. We can drill. We got shit. We can use our own oil if we really are dedicated to staying on oil, but we're not. See, we're not, because half the country is like, we really need to get off oil, and the other half is, let's drill our own oil. So as long as we've got red bad, blue good, blue bad, red good, as long as we're divided like that in this country, we ain't never going to solve these bigger problems, because the bigger problems rely people of good faith to come together and talk about whether or not we should drill off the coast of Alaska, just to lesser the price on the guy trying to drive to work in Des Moines every day, right? Let's have that conversation. But what about the aquatic sea otter? Stop it with that stuff. What about the working class family in Peoria, Illinois? Let's start talking about them. Let's start talking about how that dad can't, look, gas prices, man. It's how we move. It's how we live our lives. There is absolutely no reason. I saw a thing once a couple of years ago, and it was really, there was no reason that gasoline should be more than $1.50 a gallon. Think about that. Think about that. $1.50 at $1.50 a gallon, according to this thing. And again, this a couple of years ago, I watched this deal. $1.50 a gallon accounts for 10 times the processing rate. So if a gallon of gas cost $1.50, that means the oil companies would be making what it costs to process it, or, whatever they call that. Again, I don't have the proper words because I'm not that smart, but whatever it costs to turn crude oil into gasoline. So whatever that process is, if you were to times it by 10, like if they were to overcharge by 10, it would still just be $1.50 a gallon. The problem is that they're charging what is essentially like 500 times what it should cost, because they all have multiple jets. And because big oil money makes big oil money men, it's that whole thing. Again, this is a system. We all need the oil, and we're being screwed. We're being grifted by it, by a combination of our own people in these foreign oil interests. We have to have a real conversation about how we propel ourselves in this country. I'm not against the idea of drilling. I'm not against the idea of opening up American oil reserves. I would love to be done with that whole part of the country, not having to deal with them as far as oil, not having all of these oil-related issues. Wouldn't that be wonderful? And we can do it. U.S. gas price. Bottom line, here's the story. U.S. gas prices are going up, and nobody seems to give a shit about it, because we all just keep going, okay, that's fine. We just accept it. What is the number? What is the price? What is the price of gas per gallon that causes us to go, okay, now that's just too much? Is it $7 a gallon? I mean, right now it's at $3.50. Does it have to double? I don't know. United States women's national team, and by that I mean soccer. The soccer gals, they lost. It was not good. I don't know. Didn't watch it. Nobody did. We didn't care, right? We didn't care this time. Why not? Why was it? It's because they weren't good, because they weren't expected to be good. They were the 2-time World Cup defending champions. The United States women's team had dominated the last 2 Women's Cup. This time they didn't even get out of the knockout round of 16. Boom. Goodbye. Sweden. They lost to Sweden. Sweden's got better girl soccer players than we do. I don't know. Is it because they're old? I saw like I didn't watch I don't know anybody on this team. I saw that Megan Rapinoe. I saw that she was on the team. Still, was she grandma? Wasn't she around like when Nirvana was big? Like, doesn't she go way back, that Megan Rapinoe? I don't know. I gotta let the dog in. See, she has decided that now she wants to come in after being invited in. I don't know. You think about the women's national team. Well, I walk away. And you think about how you maybe could have supported them more. Or not. I don't care. All right, come on. Yeah, it's hot out there, isn't it? Sure is. I'll go lay down in front of the air conditioning like you like. I'll be with you shortly. There she goes. All right. There you go. There will be no more interruptions today. The dog situation has been handled. She's taken care of. Okay, so women's soccer. They didn't do so good. They lost to Sweden. I do think I like women's soccer better than men's soccer, though. Like, I was thinking about this when I was putting this story together today about the women's national team. I seem to remember back when I was a bartender, like the women's team being good. Like, when did the girl slide and whip off her bra? Wasn't that like, hadn't the women's team been good for like decades? And then I tried to think, I'm like, do I have any memories of watching the men? I have no memories of watching the men's World Cup team. Just women. Didn't also the women do good in the Olympics one year or something? I don't know, whatever. I think I like women's soccer more than men's soccer. Again, by the way, I love Premier League soccer, how it's laid out. Right? Because I watched that Netflix show where now I feel like I know basics about British Premier League soccer, like the table and being relegated and being, what do they call it? Promoted, that whole thing. I love that. I find all the different leagues, Premier League, Champions League, I find all that stuff very confusing, but still very fun. James Parker, who co-hosts the Pugs and Parker nighttime show, which we call the Radio Misfits show, Pugs and Parker with E. He believes that American sports teams should use the relegation promotion table. And I think that'd be great. I think that'd be fun. Let's see here. Moon race. There is a moon. Oh, no, wait. I'm sorry. I don't want to skip over this one. Yeah, there it is. Moon race. Apparently there's a race to the moon. The moon is open for business and entrepreneurs are racing to make billions. That's right. A bunch of people trying to go up to the moon. NASA's going back to the moon, and this time they mean business. Private companies are helping build lunar transports. This new market, which is worth over $100 billion, could be a game changer for humanity. How exciting. So Russia and India both have lunar probes, lunar rovers that are going to the South Pole. They're going to land up there. They're not going to send a person. They're going to land up there. And they're going to be looking for water, because if they can find water on the South Pole, then they think they can build their base, and they want to, well, I don't know if they're working in cahoots. I don't know what's going on with India and Russia lunar stuff. Maybe they're two independent projects. We, on the other hand, we're looking to do dudes again. We're looking to put dudes. Yeah. You know what? Here's the other thing. So, the whole thing, the whole reason we never went back is because we never went in the first place. And then people always like to talk about how, they break down the Neil Armstrong Apollo 11 and they show the flag. Why'd that flag got a shadow? Why would it be a shadow? And they all these like stupid, crazy conspiracy theories as to how the moon landing on July the 20th, 1969 was faked, right? And all of that. And that's faked. It was just, they had people and they did it in a desert, and it was just the people who were working on it, and they all come. People are like, well, how do you keep that many people quiet about it? Here's the thing that they always forget, okay? It wasn't just July 20th, 1969 that they would have had to have faked. They would have had to have faked like the next 10 Apollo missions. 12 men have walked on the moon. That's 12 different, not 12 different missions, but I think there were 4 or 5 different missions that actually put Americans up there. That means every one of those was faked too, you fucking idiots. No, it was totally faked because it didn't even happen. The weather was bad on July 20th. It couldn't happen. You get like these guys. Okay, so they faked them all. So let's not just, okay, stupid, dial in on the conversation. So, hey, stupid, you're saying that the moon landing was fake, right? So what about the other ones? What about the other 7? What about the Dune bug? What about all of that? So all of that, was that done in the same? Well, I don't know. Nobody has filled my empty jug head with that kind of misinformation yet. So I don't know how to answer that. They can never answer that. All of these moon landing deniers. Really? Are we talking just July 20th, or are we talking all the subsequent missions? All of those were faked, and all the people involved in all of those have been sworn to secrecy and not said a damn thing their whole lives. Really? That's what you're contending. Anyway, we're going to the moon again. They want to go to the moon. They want to use it for a base. They want to send tourists to the moon. Whatever. America's going to the moon. We're going to the moon by the end of the decade. That's what they say. God bless. Here's what I know. My dream of going to the moon is never going to happen. I thought my whole life, boy, growing up, I'm like, wouldn't that be great? Here is this little kid, this little American baby born on July 20th, 1969. Look at him. He's one of the first tourists to go to the moon. That ain't going to happen. You know why? Because we ain't done nothing for 50 years. We went to the moon, and then we did nothing for 50 years. And now somebody was like, hey, we should go to the moon again. And now they're like talking about doing that. But they got to start over because they can't use any of the same technology because that technology was basically a Casio watch. We got better stuff now. So now we got to build better stuff. And it's going to be in like a decade. And I'm telling you, by the time tours, here's how I expect to go to the moon, right? This is how I expect. I expect to be like an older guy like this. I expected to go to the moon at this age, like this age. I expected to be like a guy like 50 something years old. And then like by now, everyone's going to the moon. People go to the moon all the time. They're trying to like create space, moon travel and all that. And come to the Hilton Grand Lunar, resort, all that kind of stuff. That's what they're doing. That's where we should be. But remember, we stopped for 50 years. But this is where we should be. We should be with lunar resorts and all that kind of stuff now. So I always thought, man, I'll go. There'd be some promotion. Hey, look, anybody born on July 20th gets a free trip. I thought maybe I call a 15th caller, radio station, whatever. I thought maybe there would be a chance because of my birthday that I might be selected at this age to go to the moon in some sort of lunar tourist thing. But now I'm going to be like 80 by the time they start letting people be 15th caller to radio stations and win trips to the moon. And I'm not going to pass the meds. There's no way it is. So I ain't going to the moon, and I'm very upset about this. So you know what? I don't care. Moon race. But the Indians and the Russians aren't putting people up there. We, the Americans, we are planning on putting people up there again, starting in the next couple of years. All right, Jamie Foxx is trending. He was trending over the weekend. Did you see this? Like, we are assholes. We are terrible, terrible pieces of garbage. Not you fine folks in the chat room. You're all wonderful. But I'm talking about, the royal we. Humanity. So Jamie Foxx was trending over the weekend. And anytime Jamie Foxx trends now, I jump on it because I'm like, man, come on. We got to root for Jamie. Jamie's been sick. We don't know what happened to Jamie. We think it's a stroke. He's in a brain trauma. He's in this world-renowned brain trauma rehab center in Chicago. He's been there for months. It's where people who have brain injuries go to learn how to walk and all that kind of stuff. And it's been quiet. We don't know what's been going on with Jamie Foxx. A couple of weeks back, he was on a boat in the Chicago River waving to people, and everybody was like, wonderful, look at Jamie. Then a couple of days later, he puts out an Instagram. He's like, hey, it's Jamie Foxx. Just want you to know I appreciate all your love and support. And, he did that, and it was great. And everybody's like, yeah. Look, it's Jamie. So Jamie Foxx is trending over the weekend, and I click on it, and he's trending because they're trying to cancel him. I'm like, this man has just been through brain trauma, and you're trying to cancel Jamie Foxx? Oh my God. So you know what happened? So Jamie Foxx, I don't know, maybe somebody got a little bit up in his business and he decided to take to Instagram, and he wrote a little something on Instagram that was cryptic and direct, and a number of people I think took it the wrong way. So here's what Jamie Foxx tweeted, okay? He tweeted, they killed this dude named Jesus. What do you think they'll do to you? Hashtag fake friends, hashtag fake love. All right. So Jamie Foxx, the guy who we have all been praying for and keeping a good thought and a candle lit and all of that good stuff. Jamie Foxx, he Instagrams, they killed this dude named Jesus. What do you think they'll do to you? Hashtag fake friends, hashtag fake love. That's it. That's all he put out there. Remember Jamie Foxx, brain trauma, stroke. Oh, I hope Jamie's okay. Oh, we love Jamie Foxx. That guy, same Jamie Foxx, except now we're angry. Why are people angry at him? Because they called it an anti-Semitic post. They said that Jamie Foxx was just out here slinging Nazi garbage. Remember, here's what he put. They killed this dude named Jesus. What do you think they'll do to you? Hashtag fake friends, hashtag fake love. Okay, now let's break it down. Okay, I get it. I see that now. Like my first reaction to it wasn't Jews killed Jesus, right? That wasn't my first reaction. They killed this dude named Jesus. Now, when people have said that in the past, I always think Roman authority. Like I always think like the government. That's for like the government, the people in charge, right? Not an anti-Semitic shot at the Jews. They killed this dude named Jesus. What do you think they'll do to you? And then he hashtags fake friends, hashtag fake love. Obviously, Jamie Foxx is having a fight with a specific friend, a specific person that Jamie Foxx trusted. He got a little pissed off there. Maybe they're in a fight. He puts this Instagram out. They killed this dude named Jesus. What do you think they'll do to you? People went nuts. Jamie hates Jews. Jamie hates Jews. Jamie Foxx and his brain injury was forced to make an apology. And it's not an apology because, an apology would be like, oh, Jamie, what are you apologizing for? No, Jamie was forced to respond to the backlash to his Instagram post and give a little bit more clarity. And here's what he said. He says, I want to apologize to the Jewish community and everyone who was offended by my post. I now know my choice of words have caused offense, and I'm sorry. That was never my intent. To clarify, I was betrayed by a fake friend, and that's what I meant with they, not anything more. I only have love in my heart for everyone. I love and support the Jewish community. My deepest apologies to anyone who was offended. Nothing but love always, Jamie Foxx. The only way, look, the absurdity of people deciding that they were going to try and tear down Jamie Foxx as an anti-Semite after months of us hoping that he gets his brain scrambles back together, as they say on What We Do in the Shadows, to now just suddenly turn the tide so quickly and just assume that he's also a Nazi. He hates Jews. I mean, I think this is terrible. I don't think there was any anti-Semitic intent at all. I think that this has to do with a personal thing. And I think that the apology was wonderful. I'm sorry that he had to make an apology, but Jamie Foxx is a smart guy. He understands how this works. You can be, you can dig down and you can go, fuck this, but you know what? He's not at full strength. He's got some shit going on. People have been very nice to him recently. He's not looking to start an all-out war. So he made the choice. I want to apologize to the Jewish community and everyone who was offended by my post. Now, who could be offended by that? They killed this dude named Jesus. Now, that's offensive if you just think everyone's an anti-Semite and that the they automatically means the Jews. I think there is some debate. I mean, it was the Romans who killed, right? There's some, were Italians offended? That's... So anyway, so Jamie Foxx was trending over the weekend and everybody was tearing him down. But then also, I will say this, there were a number of people who have the same opinion as me. Which is just like, leave the dude alone. What is wrong with you? This now is not the time. He doesn't need to be worried about you people thinking that he's an anti-Semite. Jamie Foxx is not an anti-Semite. I mean, maybe he is, but he's never done anything publicly that has given us any indication to tear him down in the public square as a Nazi. So stop it. Now, how did this whole thing start? Here's how it started. Guess who's to blame? Jennifer Aniston. Oh my God. And I am so upset. I am so upset. I always thought Jennifer Aniston was cool. Guess what? She's not. Jennifer Aniston sucks. Jennifer Aniston is the one who saw the Jamie Foxx tweet. The one where he says, they killed this dude named Jesus. What do you think they'll do to you? And you know what? You know what Jennifer Aniston did? She forwarded the Jamie Foxx tweet, but then she added her own commentary. And so here is what Jennifer Aniston said about the Jamie Foxx tweet. Again, the Jamie Foxx. We're just calling them tweets. They're Instagrams, I know. Jamie Foxx said, they killed this dude named Jesus. What do you think they'll do to you? Hashtag fake friends, hashtag fake love. Jennifer Aniston responded to that with, this really makes me sick. I did not like this post on purpose or by accident. And more importantly, I want to be clear to my friends and anyone hurt by this showing up in their feeds. I do not support any form of anti-Semitism, and I truly don't tolerate hate of any kind, period. That's what Jennifer Aniston said in response to Jamie Foxx's tweet. They killed this dude named Jesus. What do you think they'll do to you? That's what she's... Well, I've been telling you folks about actresses, man. Oh, they're the worst. Actresses are the worst. Now, look, they're wonderful in their little plays and their little TVs and their little movie scenes. That's where they belong. They're fine. You get in a dinner conversation with an actress. Oh, they are the worst. Oh, my God. Anyway, Jennifer Aniston proving that she is the worst. Jennifer Aniston apologized to Jennifer Aniston. What are you doing? What are you doing? Do you not know that this dude's been fighting a brain thing? Why did you throw gasoline on this and turn it into a whole thing? And then you forced Jamie Foxx from his hotel hospital, hotel, whatever, hospital bed, to have to apologize on Instagram because the chick from Friends got upset? Are you kidding me? Barbie is trending. Speaking of actresses, Barbie is trending. Barbie is trending because Barbie has crossed over the $1 million mark, and Greta Gerwig is now like, yay! She's like Miss $1 billion. Second woman. First woman to go this far. She's got the record now. She's got the number. She's second woman to cross the $1 billion mark for a movie in its initial release. That wasn't a fun fact. That wasn't Patty Jenkins. Patty Jenkins has the second highest grossing total film run for a female director. That was Wonder Woman. She did that. That's total box office after all is said and done. But what we're talking about is like on initial release. So what made most on initial release? Only 2 female directors have had films that made over $1 billion on its initial release. Wonder Woman didn't do it. Captain Marvel did. Captain Marvel was co-directed by this chick Jane something. I don't know. I guess the other director was a dude, because anyway, she is given credit with being the first co-director female to cross the $1 billion mark. But that's been smashed by Greta Gerwig. Barbie is just cha-chinging all across the globe. Barbie. It's the summer of Barbie. Hey, by the way, it's the summer of Barbie. Is there a song? Like, is there a song from the Barbie movie? Or is there like a, not even forget about Barbie. Is there a song of the summer? Like, I don't know. I feel like this summer has just been 105-degree day after another. I just feel like the summer has been like the worst. There's like no music. There's no TV. Well, actor strike, writer strike. I guess all that. I don't know. Anyway, moving on. Barbie, congratulations. You crossed 1 billion. I mean, I'm gonna have to. I say this with some reservation. I was gonna say I'm gonna have to see Barbie, right? Because it's a cultural thing now. At this point, it has crossed over from you need to see it because you'll enjoy it to you need to see it so you can understand what society is talking about. That's now where Barbie is. So now I gotta see Barbie, so I get the references. I say I gotta see it, but will I? Because there have been other films that I've avoided that are just gigantic cultural blind spots for me. For instance, I never saw any of the Lord of the Rings movies. I don't know anything. I don't know Hobbit stuff. I don't know any Harry Potter stuff other than the small stuff that I experienced with my son when he was growing up. But I don't know the story. I don't know what a woggle is. What are they? I don't know. Wobbles? I don't know. What are humans? What are normal people without? See, I don't know this stuff. Avatar? Never seen Avatar. Don't care. That looks stupid. That Avatar looks just like, nope, not interested. So I don't know. Pirates of the Caribbean. Oh my God, Pirates of the Caribbean, Fast and the Furious, and Mission Impossible movies. I've never seen any of them. Never seen any of them. Those are big cultural. So when I say I'll probably have to see Barbie, maybe I won't. Maybe as I get older, I find myself more and more comfortable with these cultural blind spots that I have. Let's see here. What else do we have? What other good stories are going on here? Noah Gragson. Here's a story. Do you know who Noah Gragson is? I'd never heard of this guy. He's a NASCAR driver. He has been suspended indefinitely by NASCAR. He's apparently a big-time NASCAR driver. I don't know a lot of the names of a lot of these big-time NASCAR drivers. Suspended indefinitely. What did he do? Well, he liked a George Floyd meme. So apparently you can now lose your career as a young man for accidentally liking something. And I am not saying he accidentally liked it. I'm saying he can claim that and you can't prove it. He liked something. Well, that says a whole lot about him. It does if he liked it on purpose. But what if he says, I didn't like that on purpose? I remember liking that. I don't know. I get a lot of fan stuff. I just click a lot of stuff. That's a reasonable response. The bottom line is he's been suspended indefinitely. Now, the meme featured, some some crab from like Finding Nemo or Little Mermaid or something, some cartoon crab, some famous cartoon crab. Again, another cultural blind spot for me. It featured a crab with George Floyd's face, and it said, under the knee, under the knee. Funny, because, you know, he was killed when someone put it's hysterical. It's funny. And apparently he liked it. I mean, for a piece of shit name. I mean, doesn't matter what side you're on. Fucking stop it. What are you an asshole for? Well, you just fucking stop it. You're being an asshole. At the very least, it was a terrible situation between two human beings. And, you know, you're fucking, what is wrong with you? You know that it's a polarizing thing. You know that this causes problem. Get the fuck out. You know who does those things? Russian troll farms. That is exactly where that shit comes from. Why? Because there's no real purpose for it. None of us are really interested in it. But if it comes across our timeline, the lessers of us might go, this is funny, but they're not going to actually create it for themselves. These are created by other people. It's put into our American discourse. And now you got a NASCAR guy who can't drive because he may or may not have accidentally clicked like on it. Ugly meme, we can all agree. Should a young man lose his career over liking it? Oh my God. You would sorry, you people refuse to acknowledge the NASCAR is all woke with the pride flags and all that. NASCAR is a big business. NASCAR is just like every other big business in this country. They want to take money out of the pockets of everybody, regardless of who they're sleeping with. And if they've got a way to make inroads into the gay community to expand the base of NASCAR, they'll do it. They don't care. If all of a sudden NASCAR became really big with gay dudes, and I don't think that's a threat of happening, but if it did, oh my God, NASCAR would embrace it. Why? Because they're about making money. Noah Gragson, he's been taken out of the driver's seat after liking a meme that mocked George Floyd, and he's owning up to the fact that he screwed the pooch. The race car driver, who competes professionally for NASCAR's Cup Series, was suspended indefinitely Saturday by his stock car team, Legacy Motors Club, which announced he was being benched just a day before the Firekeepers Casino 400 at Michigan International Speedway. Here's what Noah Gragson says of his actions. I am disappointed in myself for my lack of attention and actions on social media. I understand the severity of this situation. I love and appreciate everyone. I truly treat everyone equally, no matter who they are. I messed up, plain and simple. Oh, you know me. I'm a little amateur crisis management guy. You know, I always like to poke holes in the ham-fisted way that people present their cases. Noah Gragson did good here. This is good. And I'm going to tell you from a crisis management standpoint, I'm going to tell you what he did good here. First of all, the whole reason for the apology is because there's a whole bunch of negative backlash going. So your number one priority, you're doing this to try and build a wall against that, to sort of push back a little bit on that. Or if you look at it like a forest fire, you want to put out some of the flames. Okay. So with this, he's hoping to put out some of the flames. He says, right from the start, I am disappointed in myself for my lack of attention and action on social media. Now, here's what's brilliant about this, because it bolsters what's been said about this, which I alluded to, was that he did it accidentally. He was just liking a whole bunch of stuff, and he was trying to get caught up on his social media stuff, and he liked it. He knows better than, you know, he basically, that was his initial response. So here in the crisis management, in the apology, he acknowledges that, he keeps that out there, but he doesn't lean on it. He doesn't give people anything to go, oh, he's not taking full responsibility. No, he's taking full responsibility, which is the number one thing you have to do with crisis management. I am disappointed in myself for my lack of attention and my actions on social media. See, he's saying my lack of attention on social media. He's basically saying again, yeah, it was a mistake, without saying it was a mistake. He's owning it. Brilliant. Oh, it's all in the wording, folks. He says, I understand the severity of this situation, which means he understands why people could be upset that he would, you know, make fun of the George Floyd situation. That is great. That is acknowledging the enemy. That is perfect. You are acknowledging the worth and the belief of the enemy. You're saying, I'm not here to fight. I completely understand the severity of this situation. The next one, I love and appreciate everyone. There you go. You've already said, it's just so brilliant. Now it's all about, look, man, this is, you know, I love everybody. This is who I am. He then goes on to say, I try to treat everyone equally, no matter who they are. I messed up, plain and simple. He ends it with, I messed up, plain and simple. The mea culpa. That was brilliant. Brilliant job, Noah Gragson. I don't know who the Legacy Media Sport public relations person is, but they did a great job. It's a wonderful, wonderful. For their part, Legacy Motorsports says we've made the decision to suspend Noah Gragson effective immediately regarding his actions that do not represent the values of our team. Josh Berry will drive the number 42 entry for this weekend's NASCAR Cup Series race at Michigan Legacy Motor Club. All right. So, as long as he, it's not going to be permanent. Like they were talking about, a lot of drivers, they get indefinite suspensions. Usually it's like a race or two. He might even be back for the next race, but there you have it. Look, again, the question is this: what do you want? You want this young man's career to be completely over because he clicked on something, because he liked something? He didn't write, yeah, that's right, that guy deserved what he got. He didn't do that. He liked something. I've liked things before, accidentally. It just happens. And he's saying, look, I was behind on my social media. I was doing a whole bunch of shit. I wasn't paying attention. I was just trying to get caught up. I'm very popular. People like me. So I was just liking things. Somebody likes me, I like them back, that kind of thing. Whether or not that's true, it doesn't matter. It is believable, okay? There is reasonable doubt that very easily could have been the thing. So I ask you still, do you think he should never have a career again at the highest levels? Because that's where he is. He has made his way to the highest level in the sport that he competes in. Let him sit down, get a slap on the wrist. Very embarrassing. He's going to be the guy who did this forever. He did it. But possibly he's a young, talented driver. Give him another chance. Get him back in the car. There you go. Let's all move on. There, huh? What do you want? Everybody's got. What do you want? These people. I want blood. Really? Like Game of Thrones, heads on spikes, that kind of thing. You think the road should be lined with people's heads on? Stop it. If the guy did something stupid, he's obviously paid the price. It's a big deal to miss a race, especially he's a competitive driver. Points, all that kind of stuff. It's a huge deal. All right, so he has paid a price. And again, you don't know for sure that it wasn't an accident. So just, try and be a human being and accept what's going on. He lost his ride. He's indefinitely suspended. He'll be back. He's embarrassed. He's saying the right things. Speaking of guys who are not saying the right things, how about Zuck versus Musk? That's right. Remember this fight? Remember Elon Musk and Zuckerberg? They're going to fight. They're going to fight MMA in a cage, which is great because neither of these guys, I think, really know much about MMA. Although Mark Zuckerberg is a legit jiu-jitsu competitor, so he knows more about it than I do. I've never actually competed I've been taking classes and all that kind of stuff, but I've never competed in an event. So he has. And he's in a belt program. So Zuckerberg's got a little bit of credibility here. I thought this wasn't going to happen. I thought this was all just nonsense, but it keeps being talked about. People keep saying, Musk got to fight Zuck versus Musk. And apparently on Friday night, Elon Musk put up a video on Twitter, and he was curling. He was doing curls. And he said that he was preparing for the fight with Zuck. So, but then he also said, and this is the story. Apparently, in his training for said fight with the Zuckerberg, Elon Musk now needs surgery. So any fight that's going to happen between Zuck and Musk is going to have to take place after Elon Musk's surgery. Elon Musk bragged about lifting 45-pound weights on Friday. Now he says he's got to get an MRI on his neck and back and may need surgery before his cage match with Zuckerberg. Look, you know what, guys? Here's the thing. Yes, these are they end times? No, not end times, but these are fun times. These are crazy, man. These are chaos times. We got all kinds of silliness. There has never been a better time for circuses. I don't know about bread, bread and circuses, opiate the masses, keep the idiots entertained. There is so much entertainment in this world. There is so much to keep us distracted from the important stuff. This is another one of them. Zuckerberg versus Musk. Two billionaires going to climb in a cage and pummel each other with their fists. That's the world we live in. It's going to be awesome. Although Elon Musk now says he needs back surgery. So whatever. Who's up for an old man fight? That's right. We've got a segment here that I'm stealing from my guy, James. The segment, James does Florida Stories podcast with James Parker. You can find it anywhere that you get your podcasts. Florida Stories with James Parker. Fantastic. But James Parker was a producer on my radio show when we regularly did a segment called Floridians. So, I feel comfortable that I can still do my Floridians segment without, encroaching upon what he does, which is terrific. He takes it very seriously. It's a whole podcast thing. I just from time to time do stories about people from Florida, and I call it the Floridians segment. Now, we've got a Floridians segment here. This is kind of sad. All right, so do you guys know about the villages where all those crazy old people live? Like the worst. Like it's great because here's what I've always said about Florida. If you take imagine a map of the United States as a beach blanket. Okay. All right. So the beach blanket. So lay the beach blanket out. And on the beach blanket is a map of the United States. Now, if you wanted to shake out the beach blanket, you'd shake it out and all of the trash from the country would fall into that little sock that's hanging off the bottom. That's Florida. That's what Florida is. Florida is the white trash catch-all. Can't say white trash. Florida is the American trash catch-all of the upper 48. Or the contiguous 48, whatever you want to call it. That's what Florida is for. So the villages, which is just this nice little club. It's for older people. It's like older people that want to get away from, the coloreds or whatever. I'm sure that word is used a lot. It's older people when they want to just go live, the rest of their lives in a nice guy. And it's a nice life for them. It's nice. It's just them and people like them. And, they golf and they have country clubs and they go and they eat out at steakhouses in the country. Oh, it's wonderful. Look, hey, you could live worse. I'm just saying these people seem awful. I watched there's a documentary about the villages that Vice did. They're not awful. Here's what the thing. They're not awful. They're just not our grandparents, right? If they were your grandparents, you'd be like, no, they're wonderful people. That's just, they came off bad. These are not our grandparents. So I can look at them and go, oh, these old people suck. These old people are the worst. So that's pretty much what I think about the villages. So this happened in the villages. A 76-year-old man murdered an 86-year-old man. Why? Because, okay, so here's the story. So at the villages, like I said, there's country clubs and golf courses and all that stuff. And these are like gated communities where people live. And then the houses aren't crazy expensive. It's nice. It's a very nice, reasonable place for upper middle class retirees to go. And that's what the villages are. And it's like the size of Arlington. I mean, it's like massive. Anyway, so there's this country club and this dude, let me give you the story. Let me give you the guy's name. So we can do the name. So this dude was running up to the country club to pick up some to-go steaks for he and the old lady, right? Oh, it's a Saturday night in the villages. Hey, babe, you don't have to cook. I'm going to put in an order at the country club. I'm going to get in my car and I'm going to drive up there. I'm going to grab a couple of steaks, maybe have a drink at the bar, and I'll be back in an hour, right? That's the life. Comes back. He's got steaks in styrofoam boxes. Here, have some steak. It's going to be great. So that's what he was doing. So this dude runs up to the country club. He picks up his order. He comes out. And as he comes out, he sees his truck has been involved in an accident. He's got a Lexus. He's got a Lexus SUV. He sees that somebody smashed into the back of it. And it's right there in front of, you're walking out like there's a valet. It's like, and this is going on. And it's his truck. And he's like, what the hell? And so he puts the food down and dude starts raging. Dude starts going nuts. He's like, what the hell? What's his name? Robert Edward Moore, 76-year-old Robert. You hit my car. So this little old 86-year-old man gets out of his car, right? And he comes around and he's like, I'm sorry. I didn't see you there. And he's like, you hit my car. And he's like, oh, I'm sorry. Everybody says. It was just like the little old man was like, oh, I'm sorry. And then so 76-year-old Edward Moore just clips him right in the jaw, just crushes him. 76-year-old man just clip this little 82-year-old man, or 87. Oh, boom, clips this 87-year-old man flush right on the jaw. Dude falls back. This is all going on at the valet stand in front of the country club in the villages. Let me show you this dude. Let me show you because I just told you about how he clipped an 87-year-old man. Let me show you this 76-year-old dude. Just so you get an idea. Here we go. Okay. All right, so here I'm going to show you this dude right here. This is the dude. This is the rageaholic who lives in the Villages, who walked out, saw that his car had been hit there in the where is it? We'll share it. There we go. Boom. Oh, that ain't it. What are we gonna pop up? All right, let's go. There he is. Look at him. All right. So that's 76-year-old dude. That's Robert Edward Moore. He's the guy that punched the 87-year-old man in the jaw at the valet stand after emerging from the country club to see that 87-year-old man had run into his car. That apparently he left there, right? Because he's important. He's just going to pull up. I'm going to leave the hazards on. I'm going to run in and get my food. And then people are honking. But no, he's important. He lives in the Villages, and he's 76. But here's my point. Look at this dude. This dude is a brick shit house. He is 6'2", 220 pounds, 76 years old. Look at him there. He's got a goddamn V. He's got a six. I can't see his shirt, but look at that. Look at how it narrows at his waist. Look at how the shoulders go out. This 76-year-old dude who balled up his fist and crushed this 87-year-old man right across the jaw can do some damage. Now, it was only after that he punches dude in the face, killing him, by the way. Yeah, you punch an 80. This dude balls up his fist and punches an 87-year-old little old man who accidentally bumped into his car in the face. He died. Okay, the dude died. Boom, crush, punches him in the face. He dies. This dude, after that, looks around and notices, oh, hey, this ain't my car. That's right. That's right. It wasn't even his car that got hit. It was a car that looked like his car. This fucking idiot. This is what the Villages is. This is just a bunch of old fucking raging weirdos. This idiot comes out, sees a truck that looks like his truck has been involved in an accident, immediately goes into a rage and punches an 87-year-old man to death. Then, as he's backing up, he looks around the car that's been hit and goes, oh, no, never mind. There's my truck. Gets in his car and leaves. This fucking guy, excuse me for my language, he's in jail, I'll have you know. He's been arrested. Here he is. Here's his mugshot. Look at him. I'm a mean old son of a bitch. I'll punch ya. The Villages. There you go. All right, so he's going to go to jail. He's going to die in prison. He punched a man in the face because he can't handle his crazy old rage. What the hell does this guy have to be raging about? He lives in the Villages. He's having steak carry out for dinner on a Saturday. He's 76. He's in terrific shape. He golfs. What does this fucking guy have to be so rageful about? I hate these people. I got a reason to be rageful, and I'm a jolly good soul. Hey, you want to watch something fun? Okay, here's the last story that I have for us today that's trending. It's because this video is going around, and this is some good stuff. This one is just simply called Alabama Boat Brawl. That's right. I wanted to do it. I was thinking tonight on the Radio Misfits show, but we're not doing a Radio Misfits show tonight. Sorry. I'm just letting you know now. James has a thing. I might have a thing, and if I don't have that thing, then I haven't. We can't do a show tonight. Mondays, as football season starts, it's gonna be a little bit difficult just because of with kids games and stuff like that. But it won't be every Monday. But definitely tonight there is no show. Okay, so we're gonna watch this. This is what we're calling the Alabama Boat Brawl. Okay, this is a brawl that broke out on a dock in Alabama. I love this. All right, hold on. Now it's a long video, which is good. Okay, hold on. All right, here we go. Good. All right, let's watch this video. Again, it's Alabama Boat Dock Brawl. And this happened over the weekend. This was in Alabama. See if we can share it. Make sure you can see it. All right. So we're gonna go through it. I'm gonna break it down. We'll watch it. You know what? We'll just break it down. Here's what's happening. All right, this is being filmed from a boat that is sitting in the harbor. You see the dock there, and you see two people. You see one guy in a white shirt, and then you see a shirtless guy. It's a black guy in a white shirt and a white guy with no shirt. Okay, so it's a black guy and a white guy, and they're getting into a fight. They're getting into a fight on the dock here, and let's just watch how this unfolds, because it is wacky, wild stuff. Right now it's just these two. But wait, here comes. Okay, so now it's like 3, 4, 5 white. All the white guys are coming to beat up the black guy. This is not a good. Oh my God! All right, do you see what's happening? This is not good. It's not good aesthetically. It's not good for the times we live in. This has now turned into, instead of a white guy fighting a black guy, it has turned into a white guy who seemed to be winning. The white guy seemed to be winning on his own. The white guy now has like 6, 7, 8 of his buddies. But don't worry. The other dude has friends too. And this is about to get nuts. Here we go. All right, now they're stomping on him. Now we got women involved. Okay, here they come. All right, first brother on the scene. First brother on the scene. He's going to run full speed into this guy. He's running a little bit of defense. Let's see what happens. They're swinging. He's going down. Right, now look at my man. My man has jumped in the water and is now swimming to start throwing hands. This is about to go crazy. Let's watch and see how it plays out. Okay, here comes other dudes. It's about to get really bad for these white guys who showed up first. It's about to get really bad. All right. Seems to be settling down. Look at my man. He's trying to get out of the water. See, I don't think I could get out of that water. I don't think I'd be able to pull myself up. When he jumped in, I thought, is he going to be able to pull himself up? He's an athletic young man. Apparently he is. Let's see where he goes. Taking his flip-flops off. Taking an aggressive posture. Now they're walking off. Okay, so what we have just seen is a white guy and a black guy. Just two dudes getting into a fight. Race shouldn't even be an issue. It's just two dudes. One happens to be white, one happens to be black. And they're just getting into a fight. And then at some point, the white guy gets like 5 of his friends to join him. So now it's like 6 white guys on the one black guy. Now we got a problem. Now it looks bad. Now you got other black dudes around going, is this turning into a race thing? Because we can't have 6 white dudes beat up one black brother in front of us. So now the black guy's got to get involved. And I don't know if you can see. Do you see that tugboat that's just down here? I'll show you where it is. It's not a tugboat. It's like a paddle boat. See this right here? Right here. See it? See, we got these 3 brothers right here. They're on the scene. They got more coming up back. But you see this boat? Yeah. That boat is filled with people. That boat is filled with people. Maybe they all work together. I don't know. Maybe they all come from the same neighborhood. But that boat is filled with people who are now about to get involved. Here they come. All right. Now these dudes, apparently these are the dudes who started the fight, if you read the story. These dudes on the boat, it started out with one of these guys against some black guy. Okay, and that's how the fight started. Now, the first wave of the fight is pretty much gone away. And these guys are getting ready to just get the hell out of here. Oh, no, though, because here comes the second wave of reinforcements looking for a little bit of justice for their guy who got beat up. So here we go. These guys on the boat. I thought they're going to no, here, keep on. You're going to beat the fuck out of these dudes on this boat. And it's not going to be close.
They scared. Look at them. They scared. Woo!
Look at this.
Beat their ass.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God.
Oh, my God.
Oh, did you see that woman get caught?
That what you get. Oh.
Now, something interesting is about to go on. They're going to start throwing people in the water, which is a very nice touch. We're going to see a lady get flung by her hair into the water. I think it's this lady right here. Yeah, it is her. She's about to get tossed in the water by her hair. There she goes. Get in there.
In the water.
Here's another interesting one. Okay.
Oh, my God.
What's with all the white dudes being shirtless? What is that? What's going on there? I hate dudes that take their shirt off when they fight. Well, what is that? What are you posing? All right. This is a mess. This security guard, he just standing there. He's like, I ain't getting involved.
That what
All right.
you get. That what you get. That what you get. Oh, tie ass up.
All right, so this is interesting right here. This is a woman. This is boat woman. She's with the people who are on the boat. Okay, this woman was dragged off the boat, and she's being beaten up by this woman. This lady is beating the shit out of her. So let's see what happens here. See this lady in the blue here? She's beating the shit out of her. If that's a lady, I think it's a lady. It looks like she got big lady boobs. All right, but now this dude. I don't know where this dude is coming from, but he is coming now. He's gonna fight this lady. And yeah, it turned out it is a lady. You can tell from her hair, but she knocked this dude out cold. Watch her. Watch. Right. Going out of the way, baby. All right. There she goes. All right, so this dude right here. This dude right here is coming to the rescue of this boat lady. This lady was on the boat where the fight initially started. This dude is coming to rescue the boat lady who's getting beat up by this lady. And by beat up, she's getting stomped. So this guy is now going to fight this woman. Okay, let's see what happens. And he goes right down. She clocked him. Watch this. Watch this. Right here. All right, so now he's embracing her. This one, I don't know what's going on here, but this lady just cold cocks him, and he goes down. Clock! And down he goes.
Because y'all were wrong.
I'm too old for this nonsense. Look at this guy. This guy's showing up late to the party. He's like, okay, let's get it started. And this dude's like, I've been waiting for somebody to hit, so now let's see. Oh, they're immediately backing up. They run into the fight like, come on, motherfucker. And then these dudes are like, all right, wall of ass kicking. And now these guys are like, oh, maybe this was a bad idea. This tugboat is filled with people who are mad at these people. So these people need to get the hell out of there because everybody's acting like a human animal at this point. I love this guy. This guy here, I've watched this a number of times. This guy, he lives in the world where, hey, let's fight. And now he's just going to pretend like he never said that and this isn't happening. And he's just going to walk away. Look at, he just turned. He's like, nope. Now watch. You do it from the time he shows up. There he comes. All right, it's this guy. He's like, yeah, come on. And this guy's like, come on, let's fight. And he's like winding up. Now this dude's like hands in the air. He's like, wait, I don't think so. All right, look at him now. He's like, yep, nope, wrong place. He just totally gets his ass kicked anyway. Here he goes. Oh, yeah. Oh, that lady got clocked. This is an insane ball. All right.
Yeah.
I mean, there are just, you can watch it over and over. There are just punches. You can just watch it a million times and you'll see a bunch of punches that you didn't see. I need to know how it started. I need to know exactly how it started. I know how it ended. Ended with a.
Get in there. Oh, look at the bras. The bras
are going to jail. Yeah, this guy's going to jail.
For jumping on that black man like that, baby.
Well,
I thought we're going.
Here's more. Now, I don't know. This is happening a little bit further down. This is at the entrance to that big giant paddle boat. Remember the big giant paddle boat that I said was filled with people who jumped off the paddle boat and started coming to the aid of the dude that was getting beat up by the 6 guys? All right, so now this is happening. This is filmed from a different location in front of the paddle boat as people were coming out to fight. Crazy. Ooh, look at this girl. This girl, something's going to happen to her. You can't just be allowed to throw it just like that. Who's going to come out? Something's got to happen. Oh, she's just kicking a dude on the ground. Oh, look at my man with the chair. Okay, this is the guy I wanted y'all to watch. This guy is trying to murder somebody with a chair. He is wailing. This dude here in the white hat and the black. Okay, watch him. He is just wailing on people with a chair. And now he's walking over. Yeah, look at the old lady sitting right here. Dude just comes over. He's just the chair. Oh
my God. He's going to jail. They better get him a felony.
Yeah, he's going to jail.
Oh my God.
Good for them. Good dude needs to go to jail. You can't beat people with a chair. You guys want to throw fists? You want to be idiots? You want to be drunken teenagers or 20-something losers? Go ahead, throw your fists. You start using chairs and shit like that, you suck. Now look at him, and now he's fighting cops. See this lady dressed all in white. She comes over. I don't know what she's getting involved in, but this cop shoves her and she falls on her ass. Yeah. Let's see. Man, why they beat up this old lady?
Oh my God. He's going to jail.
He's going to jail.
They better get him a felony. Oh my God.
Look at he shoves it. All right, wasn't that fun? That's called Alabama Boat Brawl. And that happened over the weekend. No idea what was going on there. Wasn't that fun? Isn't that a good way to enjoy a little weekend at the water? I want to know the story here. Let's see what the story is here. Let's see here. The fight erupted on Saturday at Riverfront Park in Montgomery, Alabama, and led to multiple arrests. The local mayor has vowed justice will be served and revealed it was initially a boat worker who was attacked. All right, let's find out. A massive brawl erupted between two big groups of people in a shocking mass fight caught on camera. And we've all seen the camera, so we all know what's going on here. Multiple videos from different angles were uploaded on social media showing the fight erupt before eventually being broken up by police at Riverfront Park in Montgomery. A witness claimed the fight, which went viral on TikTok. Hold on. Can we please just X out of this? A witness claimed the fight, which went viral on TikTok, erupted following an argument about a boat that was blocking the mooring space of another vessel. Okay, see, this is interesting. All right, so now, because, I'm a bit of a lake rat from time to time, spend a lot of time up there, understand boating etiquette, understand how these things work. So looking at the video, we saw those guys in the speedboat. It looked like maybe a wake boat or a surf boat, little speedboat. We saw those guys in the speedboat. They were parked along the dock right behind that giant tourist paddle boat. Now that's strange. I initially looked at that and I went, that guy shouldn't be there. That's obviously not a place for boats like that. So what I imagine happened was these rednecks, which we saw them back about, we can do what we want. They pull up and a dock worker, a guy who works the dock and makes sure the boats are tied off and all that stuff. Probably the black dude we saw. He probably said, hey, you can't park here. You can't park here. And that led to fuck you, and that led to whatever it led to. And now you got to fight, and all of that happened. Multiple videos from different angles show the witness claimed on TikTok that it was following an argument about a boat that was blocking the mooring space of another vessel. Yeah, there was probably another gigantic boat filled with tourists that were trying to unload or load. A witness footage shows an argument starting between one man, believed to be a riverboat employee, and another two before violence starts. As it escalates, multiple other people join in, eventually turning it into a massive brawl with people thrown in the water, chairs being smashed over people's heads, and people being beaten to the ground. In the early moments of the fight, as one man takes on three others, someone is seen jumping from a nearby boat to swim over to join him. Yeah, That was the hero, dude. All right, I don't care anymore. Nah, I know what it's about. These idiots on a speedboat, these are the guys who started it. The idiots on the speedboat, they thought they could just park wherever they want. You can't. That giant tugboat was probably trying to pull out and needs to back up. Do you know the kind of waves it's going to cause when it does that? You know what it's going to do to your stupid little surf boat? You can't be there. That boat, when that giant boat tries to turn, when it tries to pull out of here, it's going to sink you, you moron. That's why you can't be here. Fuck you, man. We can go wherever we want. This is Alabama. You know, that kind of thing. And then, you know, maybe the boat guy, the guy who was working the dock, who was like, you can't be here. Maybe he had a bad day. And he was like, fuck you. And he's like, oh, what you say, boy? And then, God damn it, humans are morons. Then we got what we got. That turns it, and make no mistakes, that was a race fight. That was a race fight. That started out just, you know, a fight. But then when like 6 dudes started stomping one dude, then it, you know, just times being what they are, turned into what it would be. I guess the rule of thumb is if you're like a bunch of white guys and you're looking to stomp a black guy, don't do it next to a tourist boat filled with black dudes, because that was bad planning, because that boat emptied and it was all of a sudden just like an invading army. It's just looking to kick ass. We're all probably, everybody's drunk. So that's the other thing about boating things. Anything that occurs by a boat or near water, you always got to factor in alcohol. Alcohol is in some way a player. All right, that's it. That's all we got. I just like that video. I'm going to probably watch that video a couple of more times. What's going on? Is there a problem? Hold on. I'm sorry. I'm trying to get into the chat room here. Frank says, Frank asked me, do I have any comment on the PS5 brawl in New York City? He's talking about something that happened. I think it was on Friday. Some YouTuber, Instagrammer said he was giving away free PS5s, and you just had to be at Times Square, I think. So everybody went to Times Square. There's no PS5s. Big fight broke out. Frank, I really don't know. I don't have great video of it. I have great video of a brawl in Alabama. Want to watch it? We just watched it. I'll watch it again if that's what you're into. Let's see here. Okay, let me see. Is there anything new that's happening? Tip the show if you can. Did I mention that? That's right. We are still looking for anything. Tip the show. Sometimes these shows go by 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of them at a time. No tips. Drop it in the Venmo, the Cash App, whatever you want. If you can help out, I sure would appreciate it. Love you guys. Bye. Let's see here. What else do we have? Anything new trending? My voice is starting to go again. It's the oh my God, we've got breaking news. Look at it. This is why we do it, right? Breaking news. William Friedkin has died. William Friedkin. Well, now it was Pugs, you and your old-timey directors. William Friedkin is a dude. William Friedkin is he directed The Exorcist, right? I guess that was probably there. Let me pull him up officially. Yes, I meant William Friedkin. Do they have him? Is this so new that he's not even updated on? Oh, he is. There he is. He is updated on Wikipedia. William Friedkin. Let's see. William David Friedkin, born on August the 29th, 1935 in Chicago, Illinois, was an American film and television director, producer, and screenwriter closely identified with the New Hollywood movement of the 1970s. The New Hollywood movement is a very important time in Hollywood filmmaking because, you know, and you can see it. If you watch a movie that was made in the 1950s, if you watch a movie that was made in 1960, and then watch a movie that was made in 1970. Whoa. I mean, the difference stylistically, the way the camera looks, the grittiness, you know, and we're not just talking about tech, because certainly there were like color enhancements and all that stuff, but we're talking about the overall feel, the way credit sequences look, the way the New Hollywood was when people like, you know, Billy Wilder, you know, and who's the other guy? Alfred Hitchcock, you know, all these great like legendary Hollywood directors. It's when they started to be surpassed by people named Scorsese and people named, people named not Ford, Coppola, people named Friedkin. This was new Hollywood. Cassavetes. This was a new way. Younger filmmakers who were doing filmmaking in a much different way than the Hollywood had ever done before. And Friedkin is definitely one of those guys. Producer screen closely identified with the new Hollywood movement of the 1970s. Let's talk about his career. Beginning his career in documentaries in the early 1960s, he directed the crime thriller The French Connection in 1971, which won 5 Academy Awards, including Best Picture, Best Adapted Screenplay, and Best Director for himself. And then he followed that up with the supernatural horror film The Exorcist in 1973, which also earned him a second straight nomination for Best Director. He did not win that. His other films included The Boys in the Band, Sorcerer, Cruising. Oh my God, Cruising. I accidentally watched Cruising. Yeah, accidentally. Cruising was Al Pacino. Look, this was like the late 80s, maybe the mid 80s video stores. There's nothing to watch. I'm going up. And do you remember the video store experience where, you go to the new releases first and you're like, damn it, Short Circuit 2 is out, right? Whatever it was, you'd go to the new releases. And then after, if there was nothing in the new releases that you wanted to rent at the video store, then you would just head into the endless rows of films and you would just browse. You'd begin browsing. Well, on one of those experiences, I saw this movie with Al Pacino on the cover that I'd never heard of before. And it was directed by William Friedkin, who I knew from The French Connection and The Exorcist. And I was like, well, Pacino and Friedkin, I've never heard of this. This might be good. And it had like Al Pacino on the cover and he was wearing like a leather jacket. He looked cool and he looked tough. I take it home. I put it in. It's about cruising the gay bar scene in New York City in the 1970s. I'm like 13 years old. I didn't even know there was such a thing. I had no idea. I saw Al Pacino kiss a man on TV. I was 13. Oh my God. Anyway, Cruising. It's another one of his movies. People like it. I didn't. It was traumatizing. I didn't understand it. He was wearing a leather jacket like the Fonz. He was wearing a leather jacket and it's the story of an undercover cop who goes undercover in the gay bathhouse sex club scene of New York City as a cop to find a murderer. Oh, it's Cruising. Oh, it was not fun. He also did To Live and Die in L.A. We're talking about William Friedkin, director who died today. The Exorcist, French Connection, To Live and Die in L.A. What else did he do? How did he die? Well, he was old. So he's not old. He's 87. He's 87. Okay. That's pretty good life. That's a pretty good life. What does it say about his death here? Personal life and death. William Friedkin was married 4 times. He's married to Leslie Ann Down. She was an actress. Sherry Lansing. He's married to Sherry Lansing. Sherry Lansing was like one of the most powerful women in Hollywood. She ran Columbia or something. While filming The Boys in the Band in 1970, Friedkin began a relationship with Kitty Hawks, daughter of director Howard Hawks. It lasted 2 years, during which the couple announced their engagement, but their relationship ended in about 72. Blah, blah, blah. Friedkin died from heart failure and pneumonia at his Bel Air home on August the 7th, 2023. He was 87 years old. William Friedkin died today. Let's look at his full filmography. See if there's okay. Let's see here. French Connection, that's a big one, 1971. The Exorcist, 1973, that's a big one. The Brinks Job, 1978. 1980, Cruising, that was a big one. The Live and Die in L.A., that was a big one. Blue Chips, remember Blue Chips? Blue Chips was that Nick Nolte, right? Blue Chips is a 1994 American sports drama film directed by William Friedkin, written by Ron Shelton, and starring Nick Nolte as a college coach trying to recruit. That's the one with Shaq, right? Blue Chips. All right, so he did Blue Chips. That's good. How about TV? Did he do any TV? No, didn't really do much TV. Anyway, William Friedkin died just now. That's breaking. That's too bad. I mean, like 85 years old. He's William Friedkin. He had a great life. He had a freaking great life. It's not too bad. It's wonderful. He made a contribution. I freaking love The Exorcist and The French Connection and To Live and Die in L.A. Man, I got to watch To Live and Die in L.A. I have not seen that movie in forever. I wonder if it holds up. But here's the other thing. I thought To Live and Die in L.A. was Michael Mann. You telling me it's William Friedkin? I thought Michael Mann. Hold on, let me see. Did Michael Mann write it? To Live and Die in L.A. You guys know that movie? Did you guys know To Live and Die in L.A.? Such a good movie. To Live and Die in L.A. is a 1985 American neo-noir action crime thriller film directed and co-written by William Friedkin and based on the 1984 novel by former United States Secret Service agent Gerald Petrovich. William Peterson, William Dafoe. So, wow, I am shocked that this was not Michael Mann. You know why I thought it was Michael Mann? I thought it was Michael Mann because it was William Peterson, and William Peterson had worked almost exclusively with Michael Mann. So anyway, but Michael Mann, another great director, another great screenwriter, Michael Mann. All right, guys, that's it. I don't know. There's nothing else happening here, right? I mean, let's go to, let's see what's trending on Google. We'll do that. We'll do real quick Google Trends. Google Trends. All right, now where are the ones that I want? Okay, don't want these. I want trending now. I want in the United States, and I want real-time trends. There we go. Okay, so here is the number one thing people are talking about. Tornadoes. The D.C. region faces a rare level 4 risk of severe storms today. 18 minutes ago. Apparently there's a tornado warning in Washington, D.C. Tornado warnings in Ohio. Tornadoes in El Paso County. Thunderstorm. Hey, when was the last time it rained around here? Have you guys been keeping track of that? It has been 105 degrees for like 6 weeks here in North Texas. It is insane. It hasn't rained once. When is it going to rain? Let's see. It's raining everywhere. William Friedkin trending. We just talked about that. Did Lionel Messi, was he in Frisco last night or something? Lionel Messi, was there a soccer game? I should really be more into this. It snuck up on me. It was a rough weekend. I don't know. Okay, so a whole bunch of tornado stuff is going on. That's it, folks. I really don't know what else I can fill you in. Hold on. Got a problem. There we go. Yep, that's going to be it. We're going to end this show today like we do all shows. Oh, I am so done. There we go. I have got my poetry. All right, folks, thank you for joining me. Appreciate you. Every day we get together here Monday through Friday. We run through all the hot topics, the current events, whatever it is. People are buzzing about, what the hell just happened? Did I restart it? I restarted it. I have got my poetry. This show runs on your tips. Help out the show if you can. We really need the support. Venmo, Cash App, all that stuff. Thank you. I will have the new list compiled by tomorrow. Tonight, we gotta go through all that. Gotta make sure all bills are paid. I mean, it's the 7th. I typically get my bills in on the 7th. I try to have it by the 4th, but weekend. We had a weird weekend. The weekend fell and screwed everything over. So we'll do that. So still looking to raise whatever tips we can for this round. Pretty sure we made it though. Thank you, folks. Appreciate that. No Radio Misfits show tonight. Sorry. Definitely be back tomorrow. E's back. So we'll go from there. And that's it. I got nothing else for you. I love you guys. See you tomorrow at noon for more High Noon with me, Pugs Moran, every Monday through Friday. Hot topics, current events, trends, all on the Radio Misfits podcast platform, radiomisfits.com. I'm Pugs Moran. See ya. Bye. So baffling to some. I have got an old guitar, that is all I need. I don't need no 401, I don't have the greed.
quest. Tomorrow is another day, the best is yet to come. I have found a different way, so baffling to some. I can smile a little